This is Ruby Franke talking to Kevin Franke in jail. There's no date, but I'm still in the process of downloading these files, so maybe I can get the date somewhere.
You know, you had to put her in a chair, and it was horrible. It was torturous last night, hearing the screaming and the banging and people. It's like, okay, that's upsetting. But the most upsetting thing is that I am completely misunderstood. That is the.
Do you guys think that she's misunderstood? Is she misunderstood?
Most horrible feeling, like my own family misunderstands me. They misinterpret me, and poor Jody, they misinterpret her. They misunderstand her. She puts her neck out on the line for people, and then they get mad at her. I mean, it is just horrendous. It's horrendous. And you know what? Every Joseph Smith, every wonderful man of God has had to be misunderstood.
That's right.
And so I'm going to get out of this. Who knows? Maybe in 10 days I'll get out of this.
Maybe in 10 days I'll get out of this. Oh my God, I really wish we had. I don't think there's dates, right? Yeah, they didn't upload the date on here. She really thought she was going to get out of this in 10 days. She's on the phone talking to Kevin Franke, by the way, in jail.
If I'm, if truth prevails right now, or, who knows, like 20 years? I don't know. I don't know how long. But I'm going to step out. I'm going to say I went through everything. I have seen God's children suffer. All the people here, my jail cellmates, have been beautiful women, but they've been hurt. They've been deceived into drugs.
She has more sympathy for her jail cellmates than she did for her children. And she sure as hell has a lot of sympathy for herself.
My heart just has so much compassion for them. And I have compassion for the cause, and I have compassion for myself. And
I don't hear her saying she has compassion for her kids. I mean, maybe that's coming up.
And then to be told that I'm suicidal, I'm like, no, that's not true. Anyway, if you need to let
Sherry, that was either Sherry or one of your siblings.
Well, they're all in cahoots. One means all of them, but yes, you're right. In your hearing, I don't know if you've considered this. I don't know if it'd be helpful, but you could have the house. And if all the kids go to the house, you've got room there, and I will gladly stay away and let you guys be. So I don't know if that's helpful. I'm just giving it to you if it is.
Thank you. And
wait, am I tripping? Where is Kevin Franke's voice in all this? Wait, hold on a second. Where's Kevin Franke's voice? I promise you, when I watched this the first time, Kevin Franke's voice was in here. Can you guys hear Kevin Franke's voice? Is it on the right side? Oh, is the microphone hold on. Oh, the audio is separate. Kevin Franke's voice is on the right side. It's not, okay, I was like, wait, I don't hear Kevin, but I swear to God, when I watched this the first time, I did hear Kevin. Okay, if you guys are on headphones, put both your headphones in. I only have one headphone. I usually don't put both headphones in because I like to hear what's going on in my surrounding. I thought it was going crazy.
Stay away and let you guys be. So I don't know if that's helpful. I'm just giving it to you if it is.
Thank you. And in the discussions with my attorney, that's the only way that we're going to retain custody of the children.
That right there is what scares me, that we're going to retain custody of the children. That to me sounds like he's trying to retain custody of the children for him and Ruby together as a unit combined, despite knowing what she did to these kids. I feel like he's still on Team Ruby. I feel like he's still on Team Ruby. There is just something wrong with him.
That's the only way that we're going to retain custody of the children.
Because maybe in the aftermath, he might be like, oh, wait, no, Corky, I meant me and the lawyer. No. You just said I would retain custody of the children. I think that he's still trying to get the children for both him and her because he thinks they can still go back together as a family after all this.
The only way that we're going to retain custody of the children.
That's fine.
He is 35 years in this, and he said even if you are acquitted and are released, they will place legal restrictions on your access to the under 18 children.
I figured such. God told me.
Oh, shut up.
God told me when I was driving before I called you.
Oh, so she did call him. Okay. Because we're like, did she text him? Did she call him? I don't know, man. I feel like Kevin must have asked Ruby what happened. There's no way Kevin was just like, oh, okay, I'll come to the police station, pick up the kids, and not ask why. What's going on?
I didn't have any information. I didn't know anything, and the Spirit said, your children are going to be removed. And I cried out loud. I'm like, no, I'm not done. I'm not ready.
She's not done. She's not ready because she was still abusing them. She wasn't done abusing them yet. It probably wasn't going to be until they died in the hands of the mother and Jody would she be done with them. And the fact that Kevin brings up like her possibly being acquitted, would you really want her acquitted, Kevin? Do you really not care about the children?
And God told me I'm done. And I just, so. Satan has taken everything away from me that I love. And I'm a good woman. I don't do naughty things. I'm a really good girl.
Ruby, I'm going to do everything that I can to keep truth in our family. And
thank you.
I'm committed to our family. I'm committed to you and our marriage, no matter what happens.
I need dates on this. I want to know when they had this conversation. I don't know. Maybe this was early on when she was just arrested and he still didn't believe that the children were truly in the dire condition that they were in. I don't know, man. This part right here is just like so ick. Ugh.
Thank you.
I'm committed to our family. I'm committed to you and our marriage, no matter what happens.
Thank you.
I will be here to support you in any way that I can.
Well, thank you for stepping up.
I do need to go, but
okay. All right.
Call me back when or if you need.
When will you find out? How can I call you? When should I call so I find out what they...
I don't know. I wonder when this phone call took place, because if it took place after the divorce, he was obviously doing it just to look better in the media. Maybe after this, he had a change of heart and he was like, you know what? Screw her. Maybe. But I feel like a lot of the stuff that him and his lawyer were doing, I had an inkling that it was just all damage control. I was like, you know what? Maybe the guy was, I don't know. Maybe he did say, fuck you, Jody, or fuck you, Ruby. But I sense a lot of damage control with what they were doing. The moment that there were other victims that came out, they hopped on that bandwagon, was like, oh, hey, me too. I'm also a victim here. I'm Jody's victim. But that was like my inkling that I had.
They say,
I don't know how long this will go, but if you call this afternoon, I will know. This is a preliminary. Yeah?
Yeah. Hi.
Okay.
When I saw how wrong this separation was lasting, I wanted to think of some ways that I could
Sorry.
bring in money or make some money if you didn't ever come back. So that's when I asked if you would co-sign on a loan if I found a house, and maybe I could Airbnb it or rent it out, or I've been playing with numbers in my head and I think I could make something, but I don't want to be dumb. I want to be very conservative. So I pulled the money and I have it in a bag. And
With you? Do the police have it?
well, I don't know what the police took. I don't know what the police have.
But the bag is at Jody's house?
They can't just take people's money. I mean, that's not right.
Well, they're not going to take the money, but when they have a search warrant, they have access to everything in the house.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm glad for you.
I have a feeling we're going to need that money.
We might do. So, I haven't been making big purchases. I've been very conservative. I think the biggest expense has been the kids' schooling and.
Yeah, I guess just listen to the captions maybe. They're talking about money right now. Apparently, she got Kevin to co-sign something with the house. She was hoping to Airbnb it. She has a bag of cash somewhere. She's wondering where the cash is. They're like, oh, does the police have it? She's like, oh, the police can't take your cash. That's not right. They have a feeling they're going to need a lot of money.
The bag is at Jody's house?
They can't just take people's money. I mean, that's not right.
Melanie!
Well, they're not going to take the money, but when they have a search warrant, they have access to everything in the house.
Sure.
Thanks for the support.
I have a feeling we're going to need that money.
We might do. So, I haven't been making big purchases. I've been very conservative. I think the biggest expense has been the kids' schooling, and that's they have enough curriculum to get them for a couple years. So.
Okay. I just received a text from Ted Dawson out of the blue. Ted Dawson.
Something about Ted Dawson. He received a text out of the blue.
Who I haven't heard from in years.
What, he just texted you?
Yeah, the story's out. So he said,
I wonder how long they were hoping for this to be shush shush for. Or hush hush? Shush shush? What's the word that I'm looking for?
Stormy sent me an article and it just broke my heart.
I think this is in the very beginning still, because he said the news just broke out. So probably the day of or a couple hours afterwards or the next day. We don't have dates, unfortunately. I think once I download the files, we should have the dates then. But they don't tell you what the dates are for these, which I don't know why.
I just wanted you to know I'm thinking about you, and if I can ever be a resource, we are always here.
Are we in the news?
It sounds like that at least you're in the news. I don't know about me. I don't know what he's talking about. But.
Well, Kevin, you're in the news by association because these involve your kids. I know that you've been gone for 18 months and hard for you to fathom that you'd be associated with this, but you are because you're the father of the children.
I'm wondering if they went to Sherry to, ask her questions.
I don't know.
These bookings are public.
I know they are. And the old Business Insider was reaching out to me, and I ignored their email, but I'm going dark.
This is a witch.
I'm not at BYU anymore, so I don't know how they're going to find me.
Yeah, maybe it was a blessing. This is a witch hunt. The devil's been after me for years. And he's mad as hard to go.
She said, this is a witch hunt. The devil's been after me for many years. And then, why does it sound like this?
Have you shared that with the detectives?
I have not said a word until I have an attorney.
Okay, well, you know that this phone call is being recorded.
You have 1 minute remaining for this call.
Yes, that will come out. That will come out.
Okay.
Okay, so she knows that these phone calls are going to come out. We're going to be listening to them.
So when we were driven to the jail, the detective was putting us in the car, and Jody said,
They're going to be in the hospital for 3 days.
"So weird. It's just not necessary."
It's so weird. It's not necessary.
They're trying to exaggerate this.
Her kids were starving.
Oh.
They were hurt.
I don't. They didn't show me.
Like the hero.
Well, they didn't show me any pictures or anything, but the way they described it, it was very serious.
You have exceeded the allowable time for this call.
No.
Goodbye.
No. Oh my God. I wanted her to respond to that.
And please see the truth. I know it's obscured.
I'm where I see the facts, I see the truth, and that's what I'm gathering.
You know my heart.
What are they charging you with?
2 charges of second-degree felony for child abuse.
2 charges of second-degree felony child abuse.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. That's very serious.
I'm a little, I don't know. I don't understand why he's not asking, so what did you do to them? It's as if he doesn't want to know. Because I feel like you would be like, oh, so what happened then? Tell me from your perspective. Like, what did you do to them? But maybe he doesn't want her to talk because he knows it's a recorded call.
I have. It's interesting. I had the prompting over the last month to read Viktor Frankl. I was reading him, and it was like the worst part was not knowing the end. He said he had an inmate that's man searched for meaning. He was a prisoner in World War II, and he said the worst part and the greatest bringing of depression was not the lack of food, and it wasn't the
She's talking about reading some book about some guy.
weather conditions. It was not knowing how long it would last.
About some guy who was in prison, and the worst part was not knowing how it was going to last. It wasn't the food. It wasn't the weather condition.
So I think I was prepared for this. I do feel strong.
Mm-hmm.
I feel calm. And you know what? Adults have a really hard time understanding that children can be full of evil and what that takes to fight it. You've seen what it takes to fight evil. It's not the person you're fighting. And it can look like something it's not. And you've been there, you know that. And so I don't know any adults who are going to see the truth. So I'm calm about this, and I just pray that you'll hang in there.
You have 1 minute remaining for this call.
I think I can call back, but...
Yeah, but just in case, I'm preparing to step up and fight for the children. They've been taken. And there's going to be a hearing in the next couple of days here in Provo.
I'm sorry, I signaled
Oh, yeah, Viktor Frankl. I don't know who that is.
to Joe. Will you say that one more time?
Yes, I'm prepared to step up and fight for the children.
Wait, are you serious? Viktor Frankl survived the camping Holocaust, wrote a book called Man's Search for Meaning. So she's comparing her experience to that. Oh, what a martyr she is.
They've been taken into custody. They're in foster care, and there's going to be a hearing within the next 2 or 3 days.
What about Abby and Julie?
Them too, all 4 were taken.
Where did they go to get Abby and Julie?
She's like, wait, how did they find the other children? Bye, Queen.
I don't know. They while I was with them. They got Abby, and they were looking
You have
for Judy.
exceeded the allowable time for this call. Goodbye.